I'm going to invite our first speaker, Sri Rithvik Anand. Yeah, so here is his profile. I'm sure a young man whose experience is going to enlighten us about the subject that is going to talk. NEC of India 2023 contents and its legal validity. Over to Sri Rithvik Anand, sir.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, thank you. So, very good morning to everyone. First, I'd like to thank organizers that they organize this awareness program. I am Rithvik Anand, and today in my presentation I will cover an overview of National Electrical Code of India, and I also talk about the Safety of Electrical Installations Committee that is looking after this NEC and other important standards on safety of electrical installation. So the first slide is about Bureau of Indian Standards. As you all are aware that Bureau of Indian Standards, the national standards body of India, it was established in the year 1947 as Indian Standard Institution to promote quality growth and services for nations. Later on, with enactment of BIS Act 1986, it became Bureau of Indian Standards. And in 2016, Parliament has passed new BIS Act, which gives it the status of National Standards Body of India. As an organization, we are involved in various gamuts of services, the foremost being standardization. We also running different conformity assessment scheme, popularly known as ISI mark. We are also have a wide range of laboratories for different kind of products, both electrical and non-electrical. We are running hallmarking scheme, and we are also providing training services to all our stakeholders. This slide presents an overview of how standards are developed. This is quite simple and transparent process where a lot of inputs came from your stakeholders. Our committee comprises of stakeholders from different bodies, like we have manufacturers, we have government personals, we have members from academic institutions, laboratories. So it's a mixture of all the expertise available in the country. And the first stage is, once the committee received a proposal regarding development of any new standard, a P-draft is being prepared in the committee. It will be first discussed among the committee members, and then it will be circulated for wide circulation. This WC draft is the most important stage of standard formulation, because in this stage we get feedback from public. Anyone from this country or even from outside, even if they are not member of our technical committee, they can have look on the document and they can provide their comments. All the comments that we are receiving on the standard, we will discuss in our technical committee and incorporate the changes whenever required. Standards are developed keeping different criteria and in mind, like it must ensure safety and functional requirement. Standard must promote interoperability and ease of use. It will, of course, improve quality. And right now also we are improving, like we are working on some new terminologies and areas like energy efficiency, sustainability, environmental aspects, circular economy, etc. As far as standardization in electrical field is concerned, Electrotechnical Division Council is responsible for this. It covers the scope of Electrical Technical Division Council covers entire, right from generation to distribution, transmission. Every aspects of electrical engineering is covered under ETDC. And we have 44 technical committees working on the areas related to electrical engineering. More than 1,600 experts are involved in our technical committee. These are the list of different committees available in BIS. As you can see that from the basic electrotechnical standards where we define vocabulary and other things, we have committees for almost all the areas in electrical engineering. Some of the important committees like switchgear, power cables, batteries. The matter related to safety of electrical installation is covered under ETD 20 sectional committee. These are some committees. We have also created new committees on some new areas like LVDC, power distribution systems, EV charging infrastructure, and electrical energy storage systems. Electrical fires, electrical safety. In our inaugural session, we have learned a lot about the importance of electrical safety. As we all are aware that a lot of people are dying every year, and we are also incurring a loss of property due to fire due to electrical accidents. This all can be regulated if standards and codes are followed in spirit. As informed by Mr. Gopakumar, most of electrical accidents are happening in the low voltage division. So if you can see from this pie chart that almost 50% of the electrical accidents are in the low voltage areas. So we need to work on this aspect and follow the standards, requirements mentioned in our Indian standards. Changed, it's not changed. Yeah, thank you. So these are the core issues related to electrical safety. The first one is the installations are very old. Like consumers are keep on adding new loads in their installations, and they are not taking care of the standards practices. And there are degradation in installations like wiring, the degradation of insulation of wiring. And there are design issues where standards are not being followed. We also face issues related to workmanship where the skill-trained manpower is not available, and the proper maintenance are not being taken care by the consumer. So these are the important core issues related to electrical safety. ETD 20, as I informed you earlier, is the concerned technical committee responsible for formulating Indian standards on safety of electrical installation. Madam Sumita Anand is the chairperson of this committee, and we have experts of around 30 organizations are involved in this technical committee. This committee has published 64 Indian standards as of now, and 9 Indian standards are presently under development and revision. These are the list of some of the important standards published by this committee. SP 30, popularly known as National Electrical Code of India, IS 732, that is on code of practice for wiring installation, IS 3043 on earthing, and ISIC 62305 series on lightning protection. BIS is also, like this ETD 20 technical committee is working on revising of some old standards, like guide for electrical layout in residential building, and code of practice for design and installation of maintenance and service lines. So these standards are very old. We need to revise them as per the latest international practices. I request you all to please go through our website. Whenever we are revising any document, we are putting them on our website so that everyone can see those documents and they can send their comments. It will help us in improving the document as per latest international practice. As far as international standardization goes, we are P member in 2 technical committees related to safety of electrical installation, IEC-TC 64 and IEC-TC 81. IEC-TC 64 is on safety of electrical installation, and TC 81 is for lightning protection. India is participating members in this, and whenever some documents are circulated by IEC for comments, Indian viewpoints are communicated to them so that the requirements related to Indian conditions are incorporated in IEC standards. National Electric Code of India, its scope covers the good practices for selection of electrical equipment, safety in the wiring of electrical installation, general safety procedures that we can take in electrical installation, and of course the additional protection that we need to take while working in special environment like explosive environment, solar PV installation, etc. This code was first revised published in the year 1985, then subsequently revised in the year 2011, and recently in January we have published the latest version of NEC 2023. These are some facts and figures about the National Electrical Code of India that is prepared by ETD 20 Sectional Committee. It has been mandated under Central Electricity Authority Safety Regulations, Regulation 12. During the development of this code, we have organized more than 50 plus meetings, 100 plus experts are involved, and it consists of 8 parts and 49 sections. These are the structure of NEC. The part 1 contains the general and common aspects. Part 2 is on captive generating stations and captive distribution substation. Part 3 is related to electrical installation in special locations. Part 4 is for industrial locations. Part 5 is related to outdoor locations. Part 6 is on agriculture premises. And part 7 is on hazardous area. Part 8 is related to solar PV installation. So these are 8 parts in the National Electrical Code of India, and each part contains different subsections. So coming to the part 1, the part 1 is the general, covers the general and common aspects related to electrical installation, in which the sections related to 1 and 8 covers the scope of NEC, definition, terminology, different SI units, and fundamental values that we have to take care in electrical installation. Section 9 is very important part, which is related to wiring installation. In this, the requirements related to load assessment, circuit design, cable selection, protection is mentioned in the document. Section 10 to 13 of part 1 covers the possible threats of leakage and overcurrents, voltage and thermal effects. Part 14 to 16 of NEC covers the calculation of short circuit current, impedance, voltage drop, electrical aspect of building services. Of course, in subsequent presentations, you will learn more about these subject in detail, where experts from ETD 20 committee will give you presentation in detail about these topics. Section 18 is another important chapter which covers earthing requirement, where the latest international practices as per IS 732 and 3043 is given in this chapter. Section 19 is on lightning protection, which covers the lightning protection system and the risk assessment of buildings. In Section 20 is another important chapter which is on power quality. As you all are aware that right now, in our home, we are increasing more on the nonlinear loads and all. So this chapter is very important, which covers the power quality requirement of electrical installation. Section 21 is on the electrical efficient design of the building, and Section 22 covers the statutory provisions and obligations related to electrical installations. So these are the 22 chapters. I'll just scroll through the slides in part 1. Part 2 is related to electrical installation in generating stations and captive stations. As you all are aware that these generating stations and captive stations are very much important in saving lives in terms of emergencies. So part 2 has two sections. For the section 1 is covering the standby generating sets, and section 2 is covering the captive distribution substations. Part 3 of the National Electrical Code covers the special installations. So the requirement here are the requirements which we have to follow when we are designing installations for special locations like medical locations, hotels. So all those requirements which are mentioned in part 1 has to be followed. These requirements are in addition to the requirement mentioned in part 1. Suppose, for example, if we are working in a medical location where a patient is in contact with a lot of metal bodies and oxygen-rich atmosphere is present, so we have to follow some additional protection measures while working in this installation in these locations. These are the topics that are covering in part 3 of the NEC. Section 1 is on domestic dwellings, section 2 is on location containing bath or shower, swimming pools and fountains. These are the area where liquid or moisture is present, so we have to follow special requirement like IP protection and all is given in these chapters. Part 4 is related to electrical installation in industrial building. In this chapter, we are these buildings are classified based on their fire safety requirement, power consumption, and pollution level, and accordingly, safety protection measures are suggested in the document in part 4. It also covers requirement related to fire safety and building services like HVAC and lifts. Part 5 of the National Electrical Code contains outdoor installation. As you all are aware that outdoor installations are more, exposed to heavy environmental conditions like rain, waters, and ambient temperatures are high in outdoor installation. So special care needs to take while working in this outdoor installation. In this, there are 3 chapters. The section 1 is on the lighting installation, and section 2 is on temporary outdoor installation, and section 3 is on permanent outdoor installations. So any installation which has a lifespan of less than 6 months is considered as a temporary outdoor installation in this chapter. Part 6 of National Electrical Code of India covers agriculture premises, where the requirements related to safety of flora and fauna are also important in addition to human beings. So these requirements are given in part 6 of NEC. Part 7 of National Electrical Code of India covers electrical installation in hazardous area. As you all are aware that there are areas like petrochemical industries, some chemical industries are there where the installations are in close contact with explosive atmospheres. So we need to take special measures while dealing with installation in such area. In this document, the installations are classified in different zones based on their chance of getting affected in this. So part 7 is covering installations related to hazardous area. Part 8 is also a very important document. As you all are aware that our focus now is more shifted towards renewable energy, and the installations related to solar PV is very much important. In this, we have covered requirements related to modules, strings, array, and other installation practices which suits Indian conditions. The special requirements of DC cable is also incorporated in this document. So there, as you all are aware and informed in our inaugural session, there are 4 kinds of risks associated with electrical installation. The first is the document has provided protection against electrical shock, protection against thermal effects, protection against overcurrent, and voltage distribution. So these all protection can be implemented if we follow the good practices and testing method mentioned in National Electrical Code of India. We have to properly select the equipment as per their ratings and requirement mentioned in the India standard. We have to periodically do initial and periodic verification of the installation as per the requirement mentioned in the Indian standard. Now coming up to the topic of creating awareness. So there are different organizations like NFE, ICI, they are already working very hard to create awareness on National Electrical Code of India. BIS is also going to start a training program on National Electrical Code of India. It's a 2-day training program which is being organized, and the first batch of this program is scheduled to be held on 17th and 18th April 2023. It's a 2-day training program. I request all of the stakeholders present here, they may like spread this message, and they may also nominate the engineers from their organization to be part of this training program, so that they are aware about the electrical installation practices, and it will make our installation safe. It's a physical seminar, sir. The first seminar is in the physical mode. It is in our training institute is in Noida, and National Institute of Training and Standardization. You can write to me. I will connect to you how to like enroll in this program and all. So it's at last my appeal to all the stakeholders present here that BIS endeavor is to bring out the best quality standards in line with the latest international practices. But this exercise will be successful only if the standards are implemented in true spirit and it can be followed by all the users of the community. So thank you all. I request your participation in the technical committees. Even if you are not a member of the technical committee, you can always participate in the standard formulation process. You can always, all our draft standards are available in BIS website, and the standards which are indigenously developed by BIS are available free of cost. You just have to create a login ID in BIS website, and you can download those standards free of cost. And by reviewing those standards, you can send your comment, so that our technical committee can evaluate those comments and they can update those standards. So thank you all.
Thank you, Rithvik. Good to see BIS today making all standards available free of cost. Earlier we have to make a huge payment, even including National Building Code Part 4 about fire. So it's available free. Any question to Rithvik, Anand? Yeah, another 5 minutes to go. Yeah. Can I have a mic, please? Sonali, can you get a mic here? So let people hear the question that you want to put in.
Yeah.
Can you please?
Yeah, is mail ID, can you go, can you go back to the slide, the previous slide? His mail ID was where?
I think we will also share the presentation of this.
Here is the mail ID. You can take a snap from your mobile.
Okay, thank you.
And you can give the mic to here, please. Sonali, where are you?
NEC is also free?
Yes, sir. The soft copy of NEC.
Sir, the mic, please. Mic.
Soft copy is free?
Yes, the soft copy is free. Of course, for hard copy, we are charging some fee for the printing cost of that.
Oh, I see. Okay. Thank you.
But soft copy is available free of cost.
But hard copy is available?
Yes, sir. Right now there are some scarcity, but it will be available soon, like maybe in a week or 10 days time.
Any other questions? So yeah, sir, Mike. Here.
Yeah.
Hi, Rithvik. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good way to understand what BIS is doing. But do we have a construction safety standard as a part to this? Like, I was scrolling through the notes, but I could not note specifically, because that is one of the area where we are having a lot of fire in annually.
Sir, one section of the National Electrical Code in Part 3, it covers the electrical installation in construction site. If you see one chapter, I am not able to recall the exact section number. It covers the requirement related to electrical installation in construction site.
But going forward, I think we should be focusing and making a section on it, if that is possible, because there are many construction companies I've worked through or even working now. They all have different standards to work in. IPs are not known, the electrician's qualification is not in. So these are the key issues.
Of course, sir. Like implementation of these standards are very much important, and like BIS is always trying to create awareness. We are also writing to different government agencies to mandate the implementation of this standard. And I'll request this August gathering, they can spread this message, so that this standard can be implemented in true spirit.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Just to add the answer of Mr. Rithvik, this is there. It is included in Part 1, Section 22. Section 22 is exclusively discussing about the safety requirements during construction.
participate for the training?
Sir, right, like we are looking up the participation of around 40-50 expert. So it will be on first come first service. Of course, we are organizing other programs also subsequently on this topic.
And do you require any appraisal from the organization? Like now, I am representing ETD 20 from ECAM, Electrical Contractors Association. So if we want to send few contractors, as you have mentioned rightly in your this thing, the contractor should attend.
Yes, sir.
So do you require our recommendation for that, or they individually directly they can apply you?
So you can also nominate from your association, or individually they can also apply through
if we nominate, will they get
shortly? I will issue a detailed notification or email to all the gatherings, where you can get an option where a link is being provided. You can register through that link for this training program.
So the nomination recommended by the organization might get more weightage probably.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Get
Okay.
Yeah.
Last question. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rithvik. It's a wonderful insight.